Trump administration in the Federal District Court of Oregon, Judge Ann Aiken, just this last week, the three biggest petroleum industry trade groups filed a motion to try to get out of the case. American Petroleum Institute, National Association of Manufacturers, and American Petrochemical Manufacturers, because they don't want to take a position on climate change in court. So my question for you, we talked about the environment, we talked about the Trump administration, it probably is going to leave the Paris Agreement, and of course, on the Energy Committee, you probably see some of the worst in Washington. Would you agree with me if I said that the courts are really our last recourse to deal with climate change before it's too late? Because as you know, it's a very time-sensitive issue. Once the ice sheets start melting, it's hard to stop them from melting.
I have enormous respect for what you're doing. As you know, I went to your press conference. You, I guess, were absent for finals, but a lot of your compatriots were out there, out in front of the court, and I went along with a number of other senators to kind of be in solidarity. I very much share your view on the importance of the courts. I don't want people to rule anything out. Let's never take options off the table. We've got this wonderful thing in America known as elections. And you can have political change that starts bottoms up. But that is not to diminish the incredible importance of what you all are doing. Because to know, I mean, even just as a kind of inspiring note, when sometimes people get a little down about today's politics, to know that young people are saying that this planet is ours too. And in a sense, we're going to be around a lot longer than a bunch of you people in the United States Congress. And my wife and I are older parents. We have twins that are 9. The beautiful Scarlett Willow Wyden, bright red hair, who can be seen if you Google Scarlett Wyden and Joe Biden. She is giving Joe Biden side eye in one of the most memorable pictures I've ever seen. Parents' bias notwithstanding. And I very much want our twins and that 4-year-old to be part of what you're talking about pretty soon. So big, big thanks. And as I was wrapping up, the reason young people are saying this is because they know they can make a big difference. And they are. You know, marriage equality was turned around in a few years by young people. And the reason was is young people said, we're carrying around all this student debt and we're worried about jobs, and you people are talking about who we can marry? If my grandparents, my family fled the Nazis in the 30s, all got out. It's one of the reasons why I feel so strongly about what happened in Portland a couple of days ago. Because we know, Wydens know a little bit about hate as a family. And having our young people speak out like this, seeing all of you on a warm afternoon in Drain talking about campaign finance, talking about the big issues, be they Medicare, or the environment, taxes, or whatever, is especially important to me. I was the youngest person Oregon had ever elected to Congress. And as I said, I wanted to play in the NBA. It's ridiculous because I was too small and I made up for it by being really slow. So I wasn't going to get to do that. But nothing pleases me more than to see this great Oregon tradition of people pushing for change, being out in front, and we've done it again and again with the environment, with Death with Dignity, a whole host of things. So I think it was really fitting to wrap this up today with one of the young people, one of the plaintiffs, in the fight to tackle climate change. I'm leaving here feeling that Drain, Oregon, really gets it in terms of what the challenge is. And I want you to know I'm going to do everything I can, not only to do government this way, but to back you up. Thanks, everybody.